Well, today is sunny October the 5th, 2024. And guess where I am right now? The Amtrak station in Wilmington, Delaware. Nah, not quite. We're in Grand Central Terminal. Yay! A grand place it is in a very central part of Manhattan. And it is a terminal because trains terminate here. Don't call it anything but that. Not the post office, Grand Central Station. And Grand Central Madison is, well, you should wash your mouth out with an unlimited supply of soap, if you call it that. So it's blasphemous to call it that. This is all part of this Grand Central Terminal. All right, I'm on train 8823, 1150 out of Grand Central, heading up to Croton-Harmon to the open house. I'm going to the 2:30 session that they have. And we got P32, 213 powering us. And when he starts up, he really makes a racket. I'll get him pulling out of Tarrytown. Beautiful day. And we should be passing 8828 en route. And he'll have the Conrail painted 201 in the rear. I'll try to get that. Here's the Empire connection heading to Penn Station, crossing the Harlem River. This is Spike and Dival Station of Metro North. I believe where the Empire connection meets up with this is interlocking of DV. This is where we start to run alongside the Hudson. And the far track is a non-electrified Empire connection. Interlocking complex coming up is CP12. What is that thing? CP12. There it is. There's the mighty Hudson, just north of Yonkers. We're following Amtrak 233 from New York to Albany Rensselaer, which has private cars on it, I'm told. And he's running about a half an hour late, and we're slugging along behind him. I don't think we're going to catch him, though, because his next stop is Croton-Harmon. We still have to stop at Tarrytown and Ossining before we get there. This ride is almost as scenic as riding on a SEPTA train through North Philadelphia. Yeah, I'm known for my sarcasm. This is something, man. Most scenic train ride you can take around New York City. On any commuter railroad in the U.S. We're just past CP19 north of Greystone. Between here and Tarrytown, we should be passing 8821 with the 201 shoving. Conrail engine. Keep an eye out for it. He left Tarrytown a little while ago. What a gorgeous day, man. It's going to be about 75 degrees up here today. Pretty warm for early October. But it's going to get cool this week. 60s for highs. That's more like it for autumn. It's Hastings on Hudson. I'm told there's some interesting power on display at the open house in Croton-Harmon. 8828, you saw the Conrail engine. Incidentally, New Jersey Transit has just released a painting of their Conrail unit. All blue, it looks great. But I'm told it won't be operating for a while. It has to get a new prime mover. So, I'll be out there once it is. Just got off 8828 at Croton-Harmon. There he goes. Here for the open house. One of the Foliage trains they're running for the open house is coming in right now. I don't know where they're going. Got a dedicated Phillies fan in front of me on the green. Go Phillies. Beat the Mets. Beat the Mets. Step right up and beat the Mets. You can't imagine all the hate mail I get on Long Island. Hey, I love Philadelphia and I love baseball, so why not love the Phillies? Well, this M7A is 8732 departing at 104 for Grand Central. The Foliage trains that they're running for the open house are going as far as Beacon. It's about 25 miles from here. There's one of them arriving right now. Here goes 8732, the local for Croton, for Grand Central Terminal. Time is 1:05. I'm on the 2:30 tour and I have to report to the parking lot by 2. And Peter Pan buses take you into the shop area. I feel like I'm in New England. Well, here goes one of the Foliage specials for the open house. Those things might be General Electric built, but they do sound good when they take off. Well, over in the servicing pit is the worst looking B32 on Metro North. Look at that. As ugly as it looks, it's got a beautiful K5 LA. Well, the 3 backup tubes is probably a conductor in the cab, I guess, and the engineer's running the train from the cab car. Well, here's the next Foliage train pulling into the station here. On track 1. 2 sets of these trains. Good, I'm glad that grotesque looking thing is out of here. Sounds good, the horn sounds really good. Why don't they just paint it in the New York Central green color or something? There's some M7As pulling into the station for an outbound train. They pretty much sound like Long Island Railroad M7s, but they look a little different. Notice those ducks on top there? To say nothing of the blazing cab ends. I love those blue zebra stripe cab ends. They should paint our M7s orange and gray at the ends. That would really look good. Heard that M7 echo? Finally got into the Croton-Harmon Metro North shop, and what a spick and span place this is, man. Just started here on the 230 tour. Get a good look at what's sitting around in this place. This is something they've revived after a long absence. They used to do this a lot, have these tours. Vintage, like an S-Class electric on the left, the P motor, the old cut motors. They look good in that paint scheme. And of course the FL9. Look at these t-shirts. Diesel Dune. Put that in now. There's an M3 getting washed. That's what they used to do with the New York Central equipment in here. When you think about what used to be in this place, steam engines, Hudson, Mohawk, Niagaras, E-units, cut motors, S-Class electrics, right up to the FL9s and the M7s, M3s, and of course the P32s. Right into Grand Central. Those are the kind of videos I like to do. It's at 125th Street, ready to dive down into the Park Avenue tunnels. There's NK Tower up above, coming up. Right there, NK Tower. Into the tunnel. A truck. I'm not sure what this is off of. Looks like it might be a P32 truck. Correct me if I'm wrong. Minus the third rail shoes. What is this schematic I'm looking to? That's not a live shot, obviously.
No, this is not a live shot. So this is a simulation, an animation of a simulation for a track outage. So this red X here, that's a track outage kind of inside the tracks leading up to Grand Central.
Oh, okay.
So they're doing track maintenance there, and we're testing it, we're simulating it to see what that would affect on the schedule and how you're routing trains in and out of Grand Central.
It's amazing how you'd have 4 tracks spread out to all of these other station tracks.
Yeah.
On 2 levels, no less.
2 levels, yeah.
Ah.
So coming in and out here, a lot of trains need to go through
It's
that.
not. Actually, this is a simulation.
Okay.
It's running at about a
Those
minute
tower
per second.
operators, when they had towers, were pretty
A
busy.
second
Yeah.
here is-
Tower
a second
Tower
is a
U
minute in real life.
was the, I think, handled the upper
And we're
level.
testing
Yep.
out an outage here.
wow.
So is it GPS,
To make
or how do you
sure
relay the signal from the train to the...
Oh, well, this is only a simulation.
Okay.
So
That's
that's
the
you actually
idea.
there's
Yeah.
fibers, optics that run along the right of way.
Okay.
So
One of,
that's
one of
how
our
the-
scout leaders
Yeah, look at
So it's a
that.
hard
he
wire.
worked
It's a
at
hard
Cisco
wire
for
system.
years.
It's a critical system. But this is just a simulation, so it's similar to what the RTCs are looking at.
Okay.
But
yeah.
it allows
That
us
makes
to
sense.
try to simulate
Yep.
schedules, routes,
Signal the project, I
outages.
think.
Ah.
Could be. I saw you say he did
And
a
with
lot of
this, we use
programming.
it to
Yep.
make
He's retired
kind of
from
Yep.
routing
Yep. Good for him.
recommendations for the dispatchers.
Yep.
They know,
Yep.
you know, this seems right. If it's right in Grand Central, that seems like it's going to have a big impact. But this will help us figure out how to run the show. To give them guidance on how to
Are you one of the dispatchers on Metro North?
I'm not a dispatcher. I do just planning and simulation.
Oh, okay.
I used to be a chief dispatcher with Caltrain.
Caltrain. I rode on them about a month or so ago.
Yeah. Oh, so right before the new electrics, huh?
Right before. That's why I went out there twice. Now it's like
This is like your preventative maintenance schedule?
So this is
good old Caltrain.
So this
Looks like a lot of insulators here. Yeah, insulators, fuse cutouts, third rail insulators, testers, relays, and hook bolts. And dial boards. I mean, don't ask me to explain this stuff. I can't. I'm not. I got a D in basic electronics, so don't even bother questioning me on your comments. My father was an electrician, but in that respect, he raised a dunce for a son. Oh, do you work in maintenance away, ma'am, or something? Oh boy, I bet you're a strong woman
I don't know.
to handle this stuff. Boy, I tell you, my wife is from the Philippines, and she's like 4'11", strong as an ox. She can pick me up.
What about this one? That
Oh.
one's heavy?
That's
a
a
spike lifter.
Yeah, spike lifter.
So for instance, if you use your claw bar and your spike just won't pull up. You put it here, if somebody strikes it with a hammer, it'll lift it up.
Oh yeah,
So that way then you can get your claw bar and
comes
pull
right
it out the rest of the way. Nice gas powered tools back there.
Oh, yeah.
Even some battery power.
Yeah, slowly working towards buying more battery powered tools. They're much quieter for the guys working. Less
Less
smoke.
fumes, yeah.
You don't have to carry around gas all day long in your truck.
Did you guys work on the Dobbs Ferry flooding?
Yeah, that was a lot of us.
Oh, that was
When was that?
that was a couple of summers ago. They had it.
Hurricane Ida.
No, there was like, how many tracks were out of service when they did that?
Love the right.
Wow, and then little by little.
Complete washout.
Like you said, every day something's always closing. And how do they find out? Is it
We like our Pandrel clip and our lag screw. We find that to work very well. You still have spikes, and wood ties. It still works really well. We still have a lot of that.
Yeah.
Down there we have a concrete tie, for example. Those are great. They take a lot of repair, a lot of maintenance, a lot of work. If you have good drainage, a good road bed, they work really well.
Yeah.
Here we don't find that they work too well for us in a lot of spots.
Do your animals chew through this?
Not here, but I know like down south. Like
Drainage is
Alabama,
everything
they
in
have problems
railroads.
with that.
What type of
Termites and
Oh,
stuff.
termites.
Yeah, termites.
termites?
I know it's, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in here. Junior conductor. Look at this outfit. I know somebody who wears an outfit like this, but his hat is a little more, there's not much empty space on his hat. I wonder who that might be. And kind of reminds me a little bit of an Erie Lackawanna Railroad conductor's outfit, except the tie was like a red, dark, sort of a burgundy color, solid burgundy color. Those are trying, they wore gray pants, but this is the Metro North conductor's outfit. Is that the laser train I'm looking at? I remember seeing that in North White Plains. Some of the equipment they use on the push-pull trains over there. There's a set of M3As. I know some conductor on Metro North who kind of likes them. Kind of. Like I kind of like red wine. There's an M7A, and over there's one of those BL20s by Brookville. Get a better view. M3A on the right, M7A in the middle, BL20 on the left. It's painted in the Connecticut Department of Transportation colors. Yeah, leave train equipment here. One of those Shoreliner cab cars, 6211. Notice it's painted in the state of Connecticut colors. The state of Connecticut owns these cars. They will have names. The Constitution State, which is what, that's another name for Connecticut. And this is the leaf train that they use to clean the leaves off. Pretty soon they're going to be putting this out. Laser train, they call it. Oh, here's one of the 5 heritage units they have. 3 of them are accounted for in here. The 208, the Beach Ball engine. Well, here's P32 214, the newest heritage unit, the Employee Appreciation Unit. And pretty much all the Metro North employees' pictures are on the side of this. Yeah, look at all these photographs of employees on this locomotive. It's quite a job getting the photographs of all the employees on this. Another view of the laser train car. Looks pretty sharp. Description of each of these heritage locomotives. There's an M7A lifted up. And work underneath it a lot easier that way. And right next to it is an M3A. The fleet's still going strong. Metro North does a great job keeping these things running. Here's probably my favorite heritage unit of them all, the New York Central Lightning Stripes. Well, this is what Croton-Harmon used to be, the New York Central. This was the New York Central here, servicing the electrics, diesels, and the steam engines. Standing next to me is the Chief Mechanical Officer of Metro North. What's your name, sir?
I'm Jeff Weston.
Ah. These are your pride and joys right here. These,
P32s, yes.
Oh, yeah. So, when did you do all these heritage units? Well, obviously the 111 is, that's a Brookville. So...
Actually, that's a P32 as well. The 111.
111, yeah.
The 111 is a BL20. Those are getting overhauled as well. Those are being overhauled by Wabtec.
Oh, okay.
So we're doing that.
Are they? They're diesel and battery powered, I think. Those things.
The BL20 is purely diesel. With,
Oh, really?
With an HEP in it. So.
What about the Yellowbirds? I think I saw one in Grand Central before.
The 401 with BL14. That's also a diesel locomotive, but it has 2 engines in it. So it's like a flex fuel type of operation where the only time the other engines come on is if you need the power.
Oh, okay.
So if you need minimum power, one engine will run, and the other engine will kick on as you need it.
Yeah, I saw the 402 in Grand Central a little while ago.
Right.
They really stand out, that yellow paint.
They do.
Kind of reminds me of the Union Pacific, but it's not the same kind of yellow paint.
That's true.
Well, here it is right there, the 401. A BL14 CG. You use those primarily in work train service, I guess.
Mostly at work, and they were actually purchased for East Side Access. So that's what the design there is assist moving material from East Side Access.
I don't think these can fit in the tunnels on the Long Island.
Not on the Long Island.
No.
You want to try your feet, you want to.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I like that thing. So when was the last time you had an open house here?
2008 was our last open house.
Wow.
So we've had a lot of construction for the last 10 years, give or take. And so this was really the first opportunity that we had to be able to have another open house.
Wow. No, I'm glad you did. It's a great.
It's fantastic.
I heard a lot about them, but I never really had a chance to see it since you fixed the place up.
Yeah,
So.
we're really proud of the facilities and what we can do here. So.
How are your MUs doing? The M3s? The
M3 is getting towards the end of its life. Actually, we actually parked about 40 of them earlier this year, so we're using those to supplement parts for the rest of the fleet. The replacement plan is probably somewhere out the end of 2029, 2030-ish. We'll open.
Oh.
To be able to start replacing the M3.
Yeah, we have a lot of them on the Long Island, about 100 of them. And,
Right.
And they want to get the M9As as quickly as they can. Well, M9's probably on our railroad, but you're getting the M9As to replace these.
Well, that's what we're hoping for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing permanent yet. We don't know for sure, but that's the direction we want to head in. So
Oh, wow. Well, sir, you're doing a hell of a job with all this stuff, and I appreciate what Metro North is doing. Good public relations.
Thank you for coming out.
Hey, anytime, anytime. Thank you for your talk, your commentary. It really stands out. You wouldn't get lost with that paint scheme. Oh boy, look at this thing. Yeah, what the CMO said is diesel does have a capability to run on auxiliary power, sort of like a hybrid. But there's more down here. There's a gem down here I gotta get. Now here, this car is a former Erie Lackawanna Phoebe Snow observation car. And they use these on Metro North officer specials. They have 2 of them and they're both here. Here's the other one. This is car number 1 and the other one was car number 2. They use these on the holiday specials too. I had a chance to see them this past Christmas with a couple of the heritage units, the 211 and the 208. Well, here's a Connecticut Department of Transportation GP40-2H. I've ridden behind a couple of these. I think I rode behind one going up to Danbury once, and rode behind one on the Hartford line from Springfield to New Haven. These engines really look sharp, and that Coca-Cola Zero paint scheme is what they referred to it as. CT Rail, it's the brand name for the commuter rail in Connecticut. These locomotives are primarily used today on Metro North services, the Danbury and Waterbury lines. You can catch them on one of the 2 lines, if not both of them, periodically. And these engines have unusual horns. They're Australian type horns. K5LA AULS horns, which sound very unique compared to normal K5LA horns. You get a real good look at one of these things. Now these are sharp. They used to work on Shoreline East. They were painted in a New Haven livery, the Guinness paint scheme, with the big red NH logo on them. Yeah, these look good too. Now, these observation cars once toiled on the Long Island Railroad. One of them was called the Asherogan. They ran on the old parlor car trains out to Montauk in the summer months. Yeah, these things used to run on the back of the Phoebe Snow every day from Hoboken to Chicago. Phoebe Snow was discontinued in 1966. The 6123 is a Bombardier Shoreliner 2 car. It's a cab control car. These things run up and down Metro-North's track, mainly on the Hudson Line to and from Poughkeepsie. Some go up to Wassaic. Some even make it up to Danbury, Connecticut. Here's 105, which is a GP35R, which toils on work trains on Metro-North. Really looks sharp.
Please stop by the diversity table for a special gift. Thank you for your service.
Oh, I got to pick up that special gift for veterans. Well, this is another one of those Shoreliner 2 cars in the state of Connecticut livery. This is really an impressive display. Let's just take a little who's who here tour. What's here? They're all lined up. BL14 CG. Got 3 of the 5 heritage units in here. The PC, I heard, is up in Danbury for the weekend. The Conrail is actually running around on the Hudson Line today. I saw it earlier. So, see 4 out of the 5 today. It's not Metro Man.
Thank you.
I know who Metro Man might be. Maybe that's him. Doesn't quite look like him, though. Oh, here's a M7A door here. Kid pushes the button, closes the door. Excellent, excellent.
Is your dad?
I think this young man is going to open the door on the M7.
All right. So I'll make Uncle friends. So we'll make him do 6. You're going to open the door. Open the door. Like this. No. You want to slow down out of the lock, all right? Then open the door. Open the door.
Oh, boy. Close it.
Good job. And then you get the
Let him out.
Thank you so nice. You're so nice. Thank you so much.
Don't want to be trapped on board.
Because it's fun to do this with toys, but not so fun to do that in real life. So our system stops trains from doing that by stepping them down in speed as you get towards another train.
That's cool, right? That helps Dad drive the trains too.
Yeah.
How you been?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah?
Not missing the Army.
No? It's great, man.
Yeah? Still down at 69, or 69 down to 6. Did you? Go ahead. So this switch machine is the real full-scale model of this little model right here. This is what allows trains to go from track to track. You could go ahead and press the normal button. So you see, that motor is turning these gears, which goes through a clutch, which pushes or pulls the rod, which is moving all this steel to let trains cross over or go straight.
Live and learn.
Let's go back normal. So you can see kind of how it all works together. Motor compartment, gearbox, and we've got our contact compartment and our locking dog.
There's a signal system.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is the old system, and it basically relies on
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Still can't get used to not having line side signals.
Having what?
Line side signals.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all gone now.
Well, we're starting to get the reduced aspect signals on the Long Island now. So,
Yeah, we have all the waysides gone. Yeah, go right ahead.
well, go ahead. It's an absolute block.
Oh, you're retired roofing?
I am. Let me try this. All right, got stop signal. Proceed per cab right there. That's what you want to see when you're going over the road and there's no problems up ahead. Absolute black. What does absolute block mean?
Basically, it allows the train to enter the interlocking if its onboard cab equipment is broke.
Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't seen those. I've seen the stop and proceed, but not the other. This one. Ah. All right. This is what I'm used to seeing. Oops. Don't want to see that. Stop. CP113. That's a signal that's on the Harlem line. All the interlockings on the Harlem line begin with a 1. On the New Haven lines, they begin with a 2. On the Hudson line, there is no prefix. It's just based on the mileage from Grand Central. There's Croton-Harmon Station years ago. Well, it's more recent than when I recall it. Late 60s was the first time I went to Croton-Harmon. They had 2 staggered platforms, and they changed engines a lot. They don't do that anymore. This is what it looks like now. Yeah, there's a T motor on the New York Central. They were like halfway between the S class and the P class in size. They're right in the middle. There's the Harmon Station sign. Then and now, well, that's what Harmon looked like years ago. Under all the steam engines. There's a Hudson 464. They were real speedsters. Locomotives of today. There goes a Hudson pulling a passenger train after an engine change. Look at that. You know, you Pennsylvania Railroad fans are probably going to send me a lot of hate mail, but New York Central steam engines by far were far more attractive than Pennsy steam engines. They had nice deep-throated whistles. Pensy's were kind of high-pitched. And seeing one of those going down the track at 90 miles an hour must have been something. He's going around a turntable. There's a E8, there's an RS3. There's a Hudson. Those were terrific locomotives. Beautiful. Gorgeous. There's somebody's favorite MU car, the M3A. Tell us about ties.
Okay, so we have a wide variety of ties. We like our wood ties. The wood ties work really well for us. We like the mandrel clip with the lag screw. You know, that holds everything in place for us. We still use a lot of spike ties. That works perfectly well as well. But the only problem is you have to have the rail anchors to keep the rail from moving side to side. So the mandrel clip actually does the job of the spike and the anchor all in one. We have the concrete ties, which are fantastic. They're great for high-speed rail. However, they take a lot of work, so they're very expensive. So we tend to work them a little bit more.
They last twice as long as the wooden ties.
They do if you maintain it properly. They can't last twice as long. Wood ties can last a while too if you take good care of them. Then down there we have the composite plastic tie. We use that in some limited applications. We're trying it out, see how it goes. So
Never knew about that type.
yeah, go take a look at it. It's something new. They're very hard, but yeah, we'll see how they turn out.
I trust you have most of the concrete ties on the Hudson line. It seems like.
Yeah, there's some on the Harlem line too. The New Haven line has them.
Oh.
They're kind of mixed in and out all over the place. Yep. So, their track inspection tools, tape measure, track level, Rovell,
The gauge.
yeah. We got gas power tools back there. We're gonna start and get some battery operated tools, which are really cool. They're a lot quieter. They don't put out any smoke for the guys working on the tracks. But if you go to the back and look at our track geometry cards back there,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
yeah,
Nice.
it gives us
Nice
all the
stuff.
measurements and everything we need.
Ace doesn't.
Joe Strapple's here. He's got there's a ton of material for him to photograph here.
A second one like this. It's the 5019. That's out next to the main track.
I wonder if that's the one I got in White Plains North. I have to look at my video.
What
Yeah.
was it in transit colors?
No, it was like this.
Oh, then it was this one.
Yeah.
Because that the other one I'm talking about isn't painted up in laser train yet. It still looks like the transit cab.
Oh, okay.
The older one with the orange stripes in front.
Yeah.
Let's go around and get like an elevator shot over there.
There's one of those M7As. I know a Metro North conductor who loves those things. He'd take one home and go to bed with it. Nah. All right, we're leaving the tour. The coat shop, there's some cars there. Actually, behind those cars is a couple of New Haven painted engines. Yeah, you can see the Peter Pan buses that they're using to transport people from the station to the facility. There's a locomotive shop back there behind this maintenance department building. And open house was awesome. There was a lot to see. Motor power they had there, and enjoyed it. Enjoyed it.
He doesn't do. I have a
Employees Heritage Unit. back of this. Think, folks? It's pulling out. takes priority.